America's National Basketball Association, Adam Silver, says that the organization will not compromise on freedom of speech. This comes after a backlash in China against the Houston Rockets manager Daryl Morey, who tweeted an image supporting pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong. Although Mr. Morey later said he didn't mean to cause offence, he took that post down. Chinese state media announced it would block the broadcast of 2 NBA basketball pre-season games. Well, from New York, we are joined by James Robinson, a senior director with the global crisis communications firm APCO Worldwide. We've heard how Daryl Morey has taken that tweet down. He's apologised for it. We've also seen Adam Silver say that the NBA stands for freedom of speech. What would you advise them in your role as a communications director? How would you advise them? What would you advise them to do here?
Well, Katya, I think the NBA and the Houston Rockets specifically find themselves in a really difficult position. We're working with clients all the time as they navigate the changing demands and expectations in China. On the one hand, they're having to consider what their values are, and on the other hand, they're having to consider the commercial value of the China market. So I think it starts with a list of questions, the extent to which the NBA and specifically the Houston Rockets are willing to forego their China business. I think then secondly, there's a list of protocols that the NBA and their members should go through that can help sensitize their people to the geopolitics and cultural issues that they may be facing, particularly in China. And then thirdly, the advice I'd give is to stand with your natural allies. So at the moment, the Houston Rockets have been sort of picked off. They've had support from their league, the NBA. But the NBA, I think, has an opportunity to stand with other sports leagues, the Premier League, the NFL, and come up with some common response to the kind of pressure that they're finding themselves in China.
The NBA has very much this attitude and has been very supportive to various different issues like players' mental health, the Black Lives Matter movement. With the Houston Rockets, they are one of the most popular NBA teams in China. How do you square that circle then?
Yeah, Katya, you're right. The Houston Rockets famously had Yao Ming on their team for a decade. The NBA itself has invested heavily and is really one of the leading foreign sports organizations in China. They clearly have identified the commercial viability and future for them in China. Having said that, their business in China is worth a couple of $1 billion, whereas in the US they're worth $8 billion in revenue a year. The teams themselves are worth close to $60 billion. And so there is this sort of commercial value question. They're being
James, just in a sentence then, sorry to interrupt, in a sentence, we're running out of time. Is it all about the money then?
Absolutely not. I think each organization needs to question its values and the extent to which it's willing to compromise its values in order to do business in China.
James Robinson from APCO Worldwide, thank you so much.